Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream. Today's live stream is going to be very, very busy. I can imagine we're going to have lots of Rangers fans entering this live stream at some point. They are smashing my latest video. The amount of views I've got in the last 24 hours is just insane. If only every single video was like that for me. Honestly, I've never known a video to perform as well as it has done in the last 24 hours. It does help when you talk about a big club like Rangers, for sure. But wow, great views for the video. And some nice comments as well. Some not so nice, but overall, some very nice comments. I'm also going to have to talk very loud because it's a thunderstorm outside. I don't know what this weather is doing. 1 minute it's 30 degrees and then the weekend comes about and it starts raining, but it honestly is lashing down outside, so you might hear the rain. So I'm going to talk a little bit louder for you guys. But this live stream is basically going to be about me talking about the Bournemouth game yesterday, which was Luton's first pre-season game. We won 3-0 away from home. I'm going to talk about the new kit that, of course, came out this week. It is a lot better in person, by the way. Miles better in person, the new kit. Going to talk about our latest signing, Jake Richards, and also talk about Asgard leaving Luton to join Rangers. So yeah, lots to talk about. On top of talking about more transfer activity and also answering your questions which you guys have got in the live chat. But yeah, I can definitely we've already got Rangers fans in the live stream. I knew we were going to get loads of Rangers fans in the live stream, so I'm sure we're going to be talking about Asgard throughout this next hour quite frequently. But let me just quickly answer some of your questions already in the chat. Great game yesterday, was incredible, meeting loads of the players and even Matt Bloomfield himself. What an amazing guy, he definitely comes across that. Where was Walton? Walton was actually at the game. He was warming up with Shea and a youth goalkeeper, so he was there. For some weird reason, he didn't play. I think there's a few rumours going about that he actually has an injury, so he wasn't. He didn't play because he's still got a knock. But he definitely was there at Bournemouth. James Shea played 90 minutes. Happy Rangers supporter here in saying that all the best to Luton in the coming season. Thank you. You are one of the nicer Rangers fans I've had to see. Well, I've had to read a comment from today. I think Shea would be our number one keeper next season. I don't think he will be, if I'm being honest with you. I do think Walton will get there eventually. He might just have an injury, as some people have suggested. Has there been any news on Alfie Doughty? Yes, he is flying out to Slovenia. He wasn't featured in the game against Bournemouth because he's still recovering from his hamstring injury, which he got away against Stoke. So yeah, he definitely is on the plane to Slovenia in our pre-season camp. I think they're leaving today, in fact. I don't know if they're going to fly out in this weather, but they're leaving today. David, who is a Rangers fan, has put this comment in the live chat. He has gone, "Hey mate, literally just joined because I am a Rangers fan. You seem decent and I enjoyed your fair assessment on losing a player you wanted to keep. Good luck for the upcoming season." See, there are nice Rangers fans. They are out there. We just need to find them. Did we look strong playing with the four at the back? We did. I think we need to practice with it a lot more. We definitely suited the three at the back a lot better, but that's because we've been playing it for the last, 3 or 4 seasons. I think it's going to take time, the four at the back. We might start with a 3 and then, work our way towards a 4 at the back, but I do think we are also a couple of players away from making the 4 at the back actually work, like a proper striker, like a left back. Also, I think we need another wide attacking player as well. So I think we are a couple of players away from making the 4 at the back work. But it's still very early stages yet. I did enjoy what I witnessed in the first half. It was good. But the second half was a lot better. More attacking intent. We looked a lot more comfortable. There's a lot more leadership, a lot more communication. But that, I think, was due to personnel with the likes of Saville, Cal Naismith and Clark playing in the midfield and defence in the second half against Bournemouth. Danny, you've just put in the chat, was just about to say your latest video is doing very well. It's what happens when you talk about a big club. Big clubs their fan bases do respond. So I'm really happy with how well the video is doing. If only every video was like that. Any gossip on transfers? At the moment, it is a bit quiet, but I don't think that is a bad thing. You know, we announced the signing of Jake Richards from Exeter, and there was no rumours about that online. No one knew about that was happening, you know. So, Luton, we like to do our business under the radar. So, you know, no noise doesn't mean there's nothing going on behind the scenes. It just means that no one's getting any information on our transfer activity. So nothing to worry about, and I'm sure we are going to sign another player very, very soon. Hopefully we do. I think we're going to have a player at the Slovenia training camp. Fingers crossed we do. I do expect a lot more transfer activity, a lot more players still to be sold because the squad is still too big. We've got over 25 players, so we need that squad to go down a little bit if we also want to bring in some players. You can't bring in more players and still have this massive squad, so it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, the squad size has got to go down. So I think the likes of maybe Chong, Nakamba, Reece Burke, Tom Holmes, players that didn't feature in the first game against Bournemouth in our pre-season campaign might be, you know, going elsewhere. Mick, you have put in the chat, Asgard going is a bit of a blow, but no good keeping him if he doesn't want to play for the team. This is it. I think, look, no one is going to question about Asgard's quality. There is quality there. He is at least a championship player. And of course, he doesn't want to play League One. I get that. He also wants to better his career. But I don't want a player that's not committed. That's what we want. We want players that are committed. It's going to be a very tough ask in getting promotion back to the Championship if that's what the objective is. We need players that want it. We can't have players that think they're too good for the league because we had that last year in the Championship. And yeah, we want players that are very, very committed in helping us get back to where we think we belong, which is the Championship. Some people might disagree on that. That's a whole different debate. But we believe we are a Championship club. So yeah, that is the objective for this upcoming season, to try and win promotion. But the expectation, the pressure is so high right now because of the mistakes we've made so far, and also the money which we've got under our belt, and also the actual squad itself. It is a good squad in terms of quality. It's just mentally, are we at that same level? Georgiou thought Dabu was great yesterday. He seemed very fit, just like Ali. Yeah, I thought Fanny was fantastic yesterday. You know, physically really good, explosive power. You know, took his goals extremely well. He's playing as a number 10, which I didn't think really is his correct position because we signed him as, you know, a defensive midfielder. But we're playing him further forward. He definitely has the characteristics of a number 10, which, you know, it does excite me. He's still young. Whether or not he'll be here when the season starts, I'm not too sure. Because remember when we played Burnley in our first game in the Championship season, we played a completely different team. Their starting 11, about 5 or 6 of them actually left the next day or the next 7 days after that game. And that might be us. We might see a totally different team from the team we put out against AFC Wimbledon to the last game in August. So hopefully lots of movement, but hopefully we can get it done before the season starts to make our life a lot easier. In fact, I'm very against the transfer window being open throughout the whole of August because people do predictions. I might go on a rant here, but every single year people do, right, here are my predictions for whatever league they are doing predictions on. And they do predictions before the season starts, which is how you should do it. But because the transfer window is still going on in the background, 1 or 2 signings can make a massive difference whether or not a team finishes 10th to finishing in those playoff positions, or if a team is going to get relegated to actually staying up. Signings make an impact, and if we signed like some good players after, you know, the first game of the season, then that changes the way I'm going to feel towards the season. It really does frustrate me. I might have to make 2 videos. One prediction video before the season starts, and then one where the transfer window actually finishes, and see how many differences happen between the start of August to the end of August. Aidan, you've put in the live chat, sad that Asgard is leaving Luton. I interviewed him on the Luton website back in February. I understand the people's frustration, but at the same time, we don't want a player that just doesn't want to play here. He obviously wants to be called up. He wants to play for Norway for the World Cup. That's happening in 12 months' time. It's a shame, but, you know, we have to just move on. I'd be more gutted if Ali goes. Ali's the one player that I don't want to leave. And if there wasn't a clause in Asgard's contract, we would have found it a lot easier to keep him. Let's put it at that, because we would have then accepted large bids, and whether or not other clubs would have accepted that is a different story. Mick, you've put, just hope Ali and Fanny doesn't go. Fingers crossed they don't. I've lost where I am in the chat. Max, you've put, my mate Stuart is a Rangers fan and he sounds, wish we could have gotten more of Asgard, and I understand his reasons for going, as disappointed as it is. I wish him all the best. I think everyone wishes Asgard all the best. I can imagine there's a massive sell-on clause in this contract with Asgard. So if he does have 2 fantastic seasons, Rangers can sell him on for big money, and then we get a big chunk of that money. So fingers crossed he actually does do well. I actually think he will in the Scottish Premiership. I know there's people talk about, you know, the quality and also the physical side of things, but I don't think the physical aspect, League One and the Scottish Premiership, is too different. I don't see it being too difficult for him. He can hold his own. I think he just needs to learn to not go missing at times, because for Luton he did go missing, but with the way Russell Martin likes to play his style of football, it's a really attractive style. It's balls on the ground, lots of passing, lots of getting onto the ball. Asgard will thrive on that style of play. Max, you've put, Charlie, you've put, anything on Nathan Lowe, or was it a fake rumour? Multiple sources have reported that Nathan Lowe is coming to Luton, but we're not the only club looking at him. There are multiple clubs interested in him. So I can imagine when it's like that, you know, clubs like Stoke, who is his parent club, they will basically evaluate each option, and then they will allow Nathan Lowe to make his own opinion on what he thinks is the right move for him. We don't know if it's fake. We don't know how true it is. Let's just wait and see. But I do think a striker is definitely needed. Max, you then put, following on for the Nathan Lowe comment, I've heard we've signed Nathan Lowe. We just need to wait until it's officially announced. Fingers crossed we have actually signed him, because I do think he's a very, very good striker. You don't score 20 goals in 22 appearances if you don't have nothing about you. Sam, you've put, Max, is there, if that was the TC9 or when the Hatters rumour, it's fake, unfortunately. Yeah, anyone who believes in the TC9 Twitter account on social media, please don't, because you're gonna do a lot of harm to yourself, because that guy who runs that account basically reports fake rumours, and what doesn't really help the situation is when the Hatters, I don't know who runs that for Luton, but he needs to understand what's a fake rumour and what's a real rumour. If he's going to post about rumours, get it from official, reliable journalists, not fake accounts. So every rumour on my channel, I've made a video on every rumour which Luton have been linked with, but I've done it from official accounts, from accounts that have got thousands and thousands of followers, from legit people who do journalism, you know, as their jobs. That's why I don't make fake videos on the TC9, you know, official account. So hopefully, when the Hatters, they realise what a real rumour is and then post the right ones, because even when they're posting it, I'm seeing their stuff in my Luton group chat, and I've had to tell like my Luton mates, like, no, this is fake. Don't believe this rumour. They've just copied it from like another social media account. But yeah, David, who's a Rangers fan, has put, I think that's a fair assessment, Lewis. Todd Cantwell wanted out at Ibrox and we had to sell him on the cheap. If you don't want to be at the club, then no one should be stopping you. Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, you also want your true valuation for the player because you did put a lot of time in develop and training. So yeah, I definitely understand both, perspectives. Max, you have put Burke is rumoured to be going to Luton Athletic. Charlton. Yeah, Charlton, I can imagine I've got to sign another Luton player. I have asked a Charlton journalist about Reece Burke potentially going to Charlton. He says there is interest, so we have to wait and see what happens going forward. But I think Reece Burke leaving the football club is the correct decision. Mark, you put, how do you know who's going and not going to Slovenia? I don't know, Mark. We have to just wait and see until the photos go out. Alfie Doughty's been confirmed that he is going because Matt Bloomfield was asked after the game against Bournemouth by Mike Simmons, the Luton Town journalist. And he confirmed that Alfie will be travelling to Slovenia. The only way we're going to know about the other players is if we see photos and videos, the content which the club posts out while in Slovenia. So we have to make a few judgments there. And also wait until the game that's going to be happening next Saturday because we are playing our second pre-season friendly against the second division team in Slovenia, if I've got that correct. I might have got that wrong. Or the second division team in Croatia. I'm not too sure. We're playing another team next Saturday. I don't even think I can pronounce the name of the team. But yeah, we are playing... Oh, Danny's put it. So the team we're playing in is called Triglav. Probably got that completely wrong. I'm not great with names, as lots of people know. Yeah, we're playing Triglav. That's my guess of what the team is pronounced. But yeah, that's the team we are playing against next week. So if players are not in that, featuring in that game at some point, then we can put 2 and 2 together and think actually some players might be leaving the football club. David, who's the Rangers fan, has put most players are still sitting on the bench in July. Teams could sign another 5 to 6 players between now and the end of the season. Correct. Lee, you've put not enough noise has been made about the signing of Jake Richards. He's an outstanding talent. Lee, I really like the look of the signing. I watched him in the first half against Bournemouth. There were some good elements. There were some, not so good elements. But there's stuff he can work on. His physical aspect of his game, of course, being stronger when getting onto the ball. But he did a few nice things. He did get past a few players. He does like to get on the ball and express himself, which I do like. He's very ambitious. He's very hungry to do well. And yeah, you don't play 30 games in League One at the age of 17 if you're not that good. So there's definitely a player there in the future. Matt Bloomfield has confirmed he will play a role in the first team in this upcoming year. They think he's more than ready to do so, which is fantastic for us. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what Jake Richards can do. We have paid some money towards Exeter. It's like a service fee, an academy fee for him. But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how well he develops and progresses throughout his time in Luton. I don't see him being a player that, features for 1 year and then gets sent out on loan the next, unless we win promotion and we might think he's not ready for the Championship football. It all really depends how well he does in the first, part of this upcoming year. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. He was part of the goal. The first goal which we scored against Bournemouth. He gave the ball to Woodrow, who scored. Good finish by him. Who knows what could happen to Woodrow this upcoming year. But yeah, good start. Long may it continue. I'm not sad to let Asgard go, to be honest. I didn't like him that much anyways, but great player. I'm not crying over it. I think he's a fantastic player. Of course, playing in Europe, like Alexander, the Rangers fan, has says, is a massive, attractive, option for any player. And I get it. If I was a player and I wanted to play in front of 50,000 fans every single week, play in Europe, competing for every competition in whatever country you're in, it is an attractive, place to be. And if you are an international player and your international manager is also happy with how you're performing, with the level of, the quality you're up against every single week, then, happy days. You're going to have a really good career and you're going to go down as, a really good player. So I completely understand the attractiveness of going to a club like Rangers. It's just a shame that I don't think we got our true valuation for him, but that's because there was a clause in his contract. I was expecting at least more than £5 million, and if he was actually, if there wasn't a clause in his contract, I actually don't think Rangers would have gone and spent more money on him, because every club has their own valuation on a player, and maybe more than £5 million would have been a little bit too much for Rangers to even consider. For someone of Asgard's basically CV, they might have gone for someone who's got more worthwhile stats and other qualities about their game. So look, I completely get it. It's just a shame that we just didn't get our money's worth, and he's only been at the club for 6 months. Jake Richards is an exciting replacement for Asgard and softens the sale. I agree, Martin. I don't think we're actually gonna replace Asgard. I think Jake Richards is basically like replacing Asgard, and also I think Zach Nelson and Fane. I think all 3 young players in total will be the one to replace Asgard. The midfield at the moment is heavily stacked right now. Why does Charlton Athletic always sign our players? Alan Campbell, Luke Berry, Dan Potts, Danny Hilton, Thomas Kaminski and Amari Bell too. 2 words, Nathan Jones. That is the reason why. George, you've put, think Walsh's passing range was good yesterday. I also agree. He's so comfortable on the ball and he never likes to give the ball away. Danny, you've put, what position is Richards? He is a number 10 but can also play as a centre mid. Martin, you've put, for Asgard to say he couldn't wait for the move to happen, says everything. We need players all in. Luton is bigger than any player. I also agree with that point. Did you see a promotion winning team playing yesterday? What did it lack? Very, very early to even kind of answer that question, I'll be honest with you. It looked good. We already look a step ahead compared to last pre-season. We look a lot fitter. Attacking wise, we look so much better, but it's still early stages. Ask me this question after we played against Tottenham, and then I'll give you a proper answer. But right now, I can't. It's too early to really entertain promotion winning team. I'm just hopeful that we are building towards that. Mason, you've put Burke would have been a Prem quality centre back if he didn't get all the injuries. I agree, Mason, but that's why he's playing League One football, because of the injuries. Martin, you've also put another comment saying, I feel there is a chance that Alfie will stay, as his experience at Stoke away from his family was not a good time for him. Yeah, he did say that was a massive indication of why his time at Stoke didn't actually go to plan. Middlesbrough, of course, are interested in him, but I don't think he'll go that high up north. A Sunderland fan, Paul, has commented in the live chat. He's gone, hi all Sunderland fan here. I hope you lot get things together next season and get back in the Championship. We've been there and it's not nice at all. P.S. Just subscribed. Thank you so much, Paul. Much appreciated for your kind words. Nicholas has put, let's be honest, Asgard is a League One player who has had a handful of games in the Championship. I disagree. He's had a season and a half in the Championship and definitely showed some really good moments. He can be replaced, he has said. I believe Chong, Woodrow, Baptiste, if fit, can all destroy League One. Chong has got some, proving to do, because his attacking output is definitely not good enough. And Baptiste needs to keep himself fit. If he can keep himself fit, then fantastic. And Woodrow, he needs to run of games in the side. Who knows what he can actually do when he gets given a run of games in the team. He hasn't really got that. In fact, he's been at Luton, for 3 years, and he hasn't really had a run in the team. Terry, you've put in the live chat, Zach Nelson can be as good as Asgard. There's definitely potential there. Liam, you've put, is Gary Sweet looking to spend money on players? If he hasn't made enough progress by the Tottenham friendly, fans need to hold him more accountable and get him to spend the money. Liam, let me ask you this. Why do we need to spend the money? If we can get a player on a free or on a much cheaper rate, why do we need to spend multiple millions of pounds? If we can get what we exactly need on a cheaper deal, why shouldn't we do that? That's what I want to ask you. It's not about how much money we spend, and I wish more fans maybe have my way of thinking. I've seen us splash the cash and it's failed. I've seen us get free transfers wrong. I've seen us get free transfers correct. I've seen us spend money and get it right. Transfers are a risk. It doesn't matter how much money you spend, they are a risk. They're not guaranteed to do well. Every fan should know this by now. You see how much the Premier League clubs spend on players. Look at Manchester United, for example. The amount of money they spend on players. There's no guarantee it works. You've got to get the right characters in, the right players that fit what we want them to do. That's what I would rather we do. If that costs £5 million, then it costs £5 million. If it costs us absolutely zero, then it costs us absolutely zero. Look at this signing by Jake Richards, for example, with paid an academy fee. He might be the best number 10 in this upcoming year. We look at Ali, for example. We didn't splash lots of money on him, £2 to £3 million, if that. He might be the best player in the league in this upcoming year. Cal Naismith, free transfer, might be one of the best centre-backs. The same again with Saville being one of the best defensive midfielders on a free transfer. I just want the right players in. I don't care what Gary Sweet does as long as we get players through the door. However, if we get to the opening day of the football season and we are missing certain players in key positions, then I will start moaning because I'll be asking why hasn't this been sorted? We've had more than enough time to get players through the door. So if we don't sign a left back or if we don't bring in another attacking player to the football club, I will be asking questions because we lack quality in those positions. We lack depth in those positions. So that's when I would start moaning. But I'm not going to ever moan about the football club spending money. Spend it correctly. We've wasted a lot of money on some players that are just not good enough. By the way, Baptiste being one of them, and he was a free transfer. Chong hasn't done well enough for the money we've spent on him. Giles, record-breaking transfer, just not good enough. So when we do spend money, we actually don't really get it right. In fact, we get the free signings more right than actually spending money, which is just mental in itself. Mark, you've put in the chat, the worst game I saw Asgard play was West Brom. A lot of shaking their head and shrugging his shoulders. A bad attitude, so think we can live without him. To be fair, I thought most players were poor that day, apart from Ali. George, you've put, Nelson looked good yesterday. Baptiste even looked fit. I also do agree with those two comments. Terry, you've put in the live chat. I've missed your comment. Where is it? Oh no, I've gone down too far. Where's your comment, Terry? I will read it out. Think some are talking about Asgard like he's basically torn up the championship. That didn't actually happen. He went AWOL too often when we were struggling. There were definitely times where he did go missing. I have, mentioned that quite a bit. Large portions of games where you just didn't notice him on the pitch, and that's something he's got to work on. Being a presence throughout 90 minutes, not just for certain periods of time. Robert, I'm half hour late. Hope everyone's doing okay. Oh wow, I've been live streaming for half hour. Wow, it's gone quite quick. I knew this live stream would be busy today. I knew it. There's so much to talk about. And of course, we've got some Rangers fans in the live chat, which is also much appreciated. Thank you for anyone who's took some of their time out today to watch me just talk rubbish for an hour. Much appreciated. While you're down there, please smash the like button. It does help the live stream perform better. And if you have missed any part of this live stream at any point, the live stream gets put as a full replay after it's finished, so you can watch it back if you want to. But yeah, thank you so much, and yeah, smash that like button for me. There was a rumour yesterday that we are looking at a ex-Chelsea keeper called Lucas Bergstrom. What do you think of the rumour? I have seen that rumour. He wasn't at the Bournemouth game. He is roughly around about 6. I've done my research on him. He's an ex-Chelsea youth goalkeeper. He had a loan spell at Peterborough. He's like 6'9". He's a very tall keeper and apparently really good at the ball at his feet. But yeah, I don't know too much about whether or not we are getting him. Someone's posted it. Again, not really a legit journalist. I was actually going to make a video on it, but yeah, I can't really make a video on it because it's not legit rumour. Someone's just posted it. But we'll soon find out how that develops. So Liam has responded to my comment about spending money, and you have put, in response to the question, I felt one of our biggest mistakes in the Premier League was not spending an extra 10 to 20 million when we had roughly 40 million profit in that season. So Liam, for me, my issue with the Premier League season wasn't the summer, it was actually the January transfer window. So in the sense, I do agree with you that particular year, we should have got more players through the door, because when we got to the January, there were definitely like areas in the starting 11 that actually we needed some help, some squad depth, and we didn't spend any money. So I do agree with you on that season. I think you're correct there. But in regards to this upcoming year, it's kind of like the total opposite. We've kind of got a very big squad already. So we've got over 25 players. We need that number to get a little bit shorter before we can start bringing players through the door. I've got a feeling as well that we are going to put in some late bids for some players once we've got a proper understanding on who's going to be here and who's not, because we still don't really know. And it is out of our control a little bit because we need another club to buy our players. So we need a Charlton. We need a Rangers to come through and go, look, we've got these players. Would you take them? Because we don't want them here at the football club. And I do think maybe Thelo Aasgaard could potentially be the one as well that also leaves. He did start, but I'm still unsure with Thelo Aasgaard, I have to be honest. Mick, you've put, just like to mention the tragic circumstances regarding Diogo Jota and his brother and send love and best wishes to his family. Fantastic. Yeah, Mick, of course, condolences to his family. I think hopefully what people have learned from the Diogo Jota and his brother passing away is that life is too short. You know, enjoy your life. You don't know when your last day on this planet is going to be. So enjoy every minute, live life with no regret, and just smash every day. Take every opportunity you can and have a good life, because you just don't know what could happen. You know, far too young to be taken away. And yeah, like, got married 4 days before his passing as well. It is just crazy. So yeah, guys, enjoy your life, man. You just don't know what's around the corner. Mark, you've put in the live chat, I love your podcast, mate. I'm actually addicted. Thank you very much, Mark. Shouldn't be addicted to listening to my opinions. I suggest you need to go to your local doctors. Was the Jamal Lewis fake news? The Jamal Lewis was reported by a legit journalist called Alan Nixon. So there is some truth. There must be some truth in that, because he posts a lot of transfer-related news. So I think that there is some truth in that report. Liam, you've put in your chat, in the live chat, following on for what you were saying earlier, the summer window in the championship season of the 24-25 season, when we didn't invest enough in the squad, that contributed towards the underperformance. I think the issue with the summer window of the championship season was how not proactive we were. So even though we didn't spend much money and we didn't invest enough in the squad, the more important thing was actually the slowness of the recruitment, and also, just not bringing enough players through the door. We should have done it a lot sooner, and we paid the price for it. You know, the likes of McGuinness, who we did spend, over £5 million on, he actually didn't settle in that quick. You know, it took a while for him to settle in. which then impacted the team. Hopefully we don't get that this year. McGuinness actually was really good against Bournemouth. I forgot to mention that in my match reaction. Really, really solid. Every time the ball got lumped over the top, he won every single battle, brought the ball down on his chest, played out from the back extremely well. He helped guide Walters, who was right back as well. So yeah, really, really good, solid performance from him. Martin, you've seen a link to Dion Charles. Yeah, this is another one that hasn't been a proper link. I have seen that. It's just, I guess, fan talk. Someone's saying that they've been told that Dion Charles, that we've put in a bid to Huddersfield for him. He's a 29-year-old striker, very established in League One. He's hit double figures on more than one occasion for Accrington Stanley and also Bolton. So yeah, really, really good goal scorer for League One. I'm not too sure how true the rumour actually is. He's never actually been at a club down south before, so yeah, I'm very unsure on the rumour. Jelly Belly, you've put, will we go for Kone? Our past 7 million bid was rejected, and I think this was a blessing in disguise. He didn't do too much in the second part of the season. I don't know if it will go back in for Kone. Apparently, he's had loads of interest from other clubs. Regards to the second half of the season, I think not having Matt Bloomfield there had a massive impact in his performances and lack of goal scoring ability, because most of his goals came when Matt Bloomfield was the manager. And maybe Matt Bloomfield knows exactly what to do for Richard Kone. And I still would like him. I wouldn't be put off by what happened in the second half of the second half of the season for Wickham. I just think Matt Bloomfield maybe was the man behind his success. Danny, you've put in the live chat, I know you said you won't be doing watch-alongs for Luton games, but our EFL trophy games could be some good ones to do. Yeah, Danny, I might actually be attending the EFL trophy games myself, especially the home ones. I think we played 2 home and 1 away, if we're lucky. I think, yeah, the under-21 game against Brighton is the home one, and then it's either Barnet or Cambridge is the home one as well. I most likely won't go to the away one because I don't really fancy going to Barnet away or Cambridge away. In fact, actually, I might go Barnet away if it is an away game, because then I can go to work instead. So, well, I go to work instead. Then I could go to work the next day because I work in London, so it kind of makes sense to then stay in London. So I might do that actually. That could be a good plan for the future, but I need to wait and see until the fixtures confirm the dates and everything on what to actually do. George, you've put Saville looked really comfortable with all the players yesterday and pointing where he wants the ball and where the other Luton players to run. I think he could be a captain, but Cal and Mark have the captain armband. Yeah, I completely agree, George. Saville was fantastic. The communication, the leadership, and as you say, just the little things like pointing to where he wants the ball. You know, he was telling players where to run into space. Fantastic, leadership skills on the pitch while also performing. He's going to be a massive addition, and I look forward to seeing more of him in the next upcoming 12 months. Mark, you've just phoned 111 about my addiction and they laughed and told me to get a life. I'm not going to tell you to get a life, Mark. You do you, mate. If you want to be addicted to listening to my voice, go ahead, my friend. Terry, you've put, what's your starting 11 if you were picking it today? If I was picking my starting 11 for the opening game of the season against AFC Wimbledon, it will go like this. In goal, Walton. Right back, Walters. The 2 centre-backs, I would do McGuinness and also I'm going to go with, McGuinness and Makoso as the centre-back partnership. Left-back, I will go with, this is the issue, we need a left-back. We just don't have a left-back. So I would have to go Joe Johnson. So that's my back 5. And then in the midfield, I play a 4-2-3-1. So the midfield partnership would be Walsh and Saville as the 2 midfield duo. Number 10, I would most likely go with Clark. Right wing, Isaiah Jones. Left wing, Ali. Up top, Nordas. As you can see, it needs a few more readjustments. It's not there yet, and that's the formation I would do. That might change though. We might actually play a 5 at the back to start the season because we looked a lot better playing it against Bournemouth. But we'll soon find out with more ins and outgoings in the next couple of weeks. Our squad is way too stacked, to be honest. Yep, exactly that. We need a couple more players to leave. David, you put Hashioka could be a decent signing for you guys. Hashi's left the football club, David, I'm afraid. We've sold him to Slavia Prague. Oh my God, I've caught up with all the comments in the live stream. Get in. I thought it was never going to end. I was like, right, when am I going to have a break and actually have some of my drink? Very active, guys. I absolutely love this. You know, when I originally started doing live streams, and Danny, who's been floating about in the live stream, who's been subscribed for a very long time, he would also say this. We were live streaming. Well, I was live streaming to 10 to 15 people. This was years ago. And to now have so at the moment we've had over 300 people watch me throughout this last 45 minutes, come in and out. At the moment, I've got over 75 people watching. It's really good. You know, it's really nice to see how the channel has progressed over recent years. I just wish I did this sooner. I wish I took YouTube a lot more seriously. But now I'm taking it seriously. There's so many Luton content creators now, and they're pushing me to the limit. I want to be the one that, you know, I want to be the top man in this game. You know, so hopefully I carry on and do more content and keep pushing myself. Mark, you put no Naismith in your starting 11. The thing is, I was thinking, do I put Naismith in the back 4 alongside McGuinness? I actually, you know, you could put Naismith as the left back, for example. But I feel like the left back needs looking at. Yeah, the left back definitely just needs looking at. I've got George. You've put. What do you think of Nordas after yesterday missing 4 chances? Basically, Nordas, he needs to do a few more shooting drills. Let's put it at that. I'm not gonna judge him right now. You know, pre-season's about getting mistakes out of the way. You know, find your goal-scoring boots and stuff like that. I just hope he doesn't become a Elijah Adebayo and misses about 20 chances a season and then goes long, you know, weeks without actually scoring a goal, because that could be a problem. Danny, you've put, I remember in the old streams you would barely get past 10 people watching in one stream. Exactly. And now look, Danny, it's massively improved. It's great. David, you put, sorry mate, my bad. You definitely need to bring in a left and right back if he has left. 8 centre-backs is a bit much. Yeah, David, yeah, we've got so much, and I think we need... I don't mind having 5 or 6 centre-backs, but yeah, 8 is just far too much. Luton lad, you've put no Reece Burke in your starting 11. Luton lad, he won't be fit, so I can't put him in my starting 11 if he's not going to be available, and I also think he's going to leave. So yeah, I just don't see him being a Luton player in this upcoming year. Alfie and Oscar have put, hello, how you doing, mate? You've also put, how many goals do you think Ali will score in League One? I reckon he's going to score 15 goals, at least 15. Martin, you've put, the trip away would be key for Bloomfield to set in stone his tactics. Very good opportunity for a good culture to start building. That's the most important thing. When you're together as a group, you know, there'll be some fun nights, there'll be some, like, you know, pranks going on, I'm sure, you know, some people misbehaving, but it's all part of, like, the team culture, the building aspect of it. You know, of course, the most important thing is to get the hard work done and dusted in pre-season. But yeah, I think, you know, it's a perfect opportunity for Matt to really install what he's all about and what he wants from the group of players. Who would be your top target left back to sign if we lose Doughty or we don't sign Jamal Lewis? I did a video of a list of left backs. Let me get that video up. I did it a couple of weeks ago when Amari Bell left the football club, and I just picked out 5 left backs, but some of them have already signed for other football clubs. So let me have a look at the players I suggested. My memory's really bad, so I'm sorry that I don't remember this off by heart. But let me have a quick look at the left backs I suggested. So we've been linked with Burnley's Owen Dodson, who I really like the look of. So that's one player that could potentially replace Amari Bell. Let me see the ones I've picked. I've made quite a lot of content since Amari Bell left the football club officially. Where am I? Here we go. 5 potential left backs signings. Jack Curry for Oxford United. He's definitely one I would really would like Luton to bring to the football club. Let me have a quick look. I need to watch the video and see what players I suggested. The video's just loading. Right, here we go. James Maxwell, he's another one. Yeah, so James Maxwell and Jack Curry are 2 players as well who I really like the look of. So I'll go with those 3. Jack Curry, James Maxwell, and also it was Owen Dodson. We need to go heavy on a striker like Birmingham. Goals will get us up. I do agree goals will get us up for sure. Mans Anderson was good as well yesterday. Yeah, he looks really comfortable playing a back 3. I don't know what the plans is with Anderson going forward. Because, yeah, it just wasn't... He's not had the best of times at the football club, let's be honest. Any updates on Jamal Lewis rumours? None at all, I'm afraid, Danny. Alfie and Oscar have put, and Lolly have put, what's your favourite Luton shirt you own? Probably the 1988 shirt which we won the Littlewoods Cup. I'm not wearing it now at the moment. It's basically in my wardrobe. But that's the shirt. That's my favourite one. Retro, it's my first proper retro top. And also, I guess the first season I properly supported Luton, so the conference winning season, I do love that year. It gives me back really good memories and makes me happy every time I look at it because it was my first proper Luton shirt, which I remember wearing. Don't get me wrong, I wore Luton shirts when I was about 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, but I don't really remember those days. Hopefully when Nordas gets a goal, it will boost his confidence and he can go on a run. Exactly that, Mick. And the perfect time to boost your confidence is to do it in pre-season. I miss Ethan Horvath, what a keeper he was. I personally wasn't his biggest fan. I won't lie there. Jordan, I did the Luton Town players yesterday. I got 22 pictures. Oh, wow. Fair play to you, mate. If our existing / new strikers do well from the off, do you think we might sell Adebayo when he's fit in the January transfer window? Potentially. If we've got our strikers smashing it and there's no chance Elijah could get into the starting 11, then yeah, that might actually happen. David Duper, I think you guys are linked with Ronan Hell up front. Yeah, he's another one we've been linked with. Not the only club linked with him, of course. It'd be interesting if we actually go back, well, if we do bring him to the club, because he's done well in the Scottish Premiership, that's for sure. You've seen him a few times and he's decent, has a decent tank and can dig from distance and have a shot from distance. Used to cause Rangers issues. You'll get him cheap due to the relegation. Yeah, fingers crossed we can bring him to the club. It definitely would be a good addition. Philip, you've put, what happened to the striker from Stoke we were going to sign? Again, it's all quiet on that front. We weren't the only club interested in him. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more clubs looking at him because he is a highly rated striker. Scored so many goals in League 2. I think Sluga would have done well as he did well towards the end of the season before he left. Sluga hasn't actually gone on to do anything in his career since leaving Luton. He's pretty much been a backup choice keeper. Cameron McGeehan, Luke Berry, Elliot Lee, what a trio that would be from back in the day. Loved all 3 of those players. Fantastic Luton Town midfield. Luke Berry in the Championship, Cameron McGeehan now with Northampton, and Elliot Lee in the Championship with Wrexham. I don't know if Elliot Lee will stay with Wrexham in the Championship, but, you know, it's mad how, you know, what happens to players. Elliot Lee had a fantastic, you know, I think he got back-to-back promotions with Wrexham, hasn't he? Did he sign for them in League Two, or did he win 3 promotions with Wrexham? I don't know. But he's had a great career, Elliot Lee. I have to be honest there, yeah. Oh, let me take this out. Bang. It's kind of weird that there's no football on today. You know, football being back yesterday on a Saturday. Normally, football's back on for the Sunday, like, you know, Super Sunday. But no, there's no football on today. I think I'm going to have a nice chilled evening, I think. I'm going to, if any of you guys watch, I'm going to watch Squid Game. I'm on the 4th episode of the last season, so I need to finish episode 5 and 6. Going to watch that today. Need to also try and get a video to you guys. I would like to make a League One video. Need to think of what to really do. If there's any video suggestions you guys want me to make, please leave it in the live chat, and I'll think about it. You guys might give me the idea for today, and I might just straight up make it. Need to think of what to actually make. But yeah, nice chilled day. Need to go to the gym and burn off the takeaway which I had yesterday. Saturday night is takeaway. I had my lovely fried chicken shop, which was across the road from me. It's bad that I keep going there, but it's such a great fried chicken shop. I love it, you know. Good run business. Good chicken. So, yeah, I need to think of, what video I need to make for today. Would you take Jack Marriott back? Probably not, mate. I'll be honest with you, George. You know, he's at a certain age now in his career. He isn't the same Jack Marriott as before, so yeah, probably not. Do you think Richard Kone transfer bid has died a death? I don't think we'll go back in for him, as there's so many clubs interested in him. Yeah, Elliot Lee signed with Wrexham at the National League and scored 50 goals for them ever since. Wow, quite a lot of goals there. He's done very well for himself. You know, multiple promotions with Luton, and then, yeah, winning more promotions with Wrexham. Who is the most underrated Luton player at the moment? Underrated Luton player. Ooh. Let me have a think. Underrated. Who's underrated in our squad? I'm trying to think. It's hard to say who's like underrated, because at the moment they haven't done enough. You know, a lot of these players, you know, they've just been relegated. Underrated. It's too difficult to really say. I'm trying to think. The one player that's coming in my head is Walsh. But I think I think people are now starting to see what he brings to a Luton shirt. So I'll go with him. Which fried chicken shop? It's just basically a local fried chicken shop. It's called Daniel's, but the guy must be called Daniel's, the guy who runs it. Very good food, and that they know who I am. When they see me enter the shop, I obviously come across like a big fat man walking in, but they go, "Lewis, welcome back," and I go, "Hello, how you doing, mate?" And I go, "Same again, please." And they know exactly how I like it. I love a fried chicken wrap, you know, with chips, with a can of Dr. Pepper, Dr. P. I would prefer Cherry Coke, but they don't sell the Cherry Coke. I've told them you need to start, you know, getting some Cherry Coke in stock, but they've decided Dr. P is the one to go forward. I don't mind a Dr. P, but Cherry Coke is my all-time favourite fizzy drink. And yes, I shouldn't be having it every Saturday. I know, but it's very nice food. I like it. It hits the spot for me. It really does hit the spot for me. And when you come back after football and Luton have won, what do you want to do? You want to have a lovely takeaway to make you even more happy. So I go there. And then if Luton lose and I need to be cheered up, I like to go there to help me cheer up. And if Luton draw, then, you know, if I need to be a little bit more happy with the draw, go to the chicken shop. Win, lose or draw, Daniel's, the chicken place, is the place to be. Philip, you put worst Attitude 11 ever was probably last season, but I've started to move on and get my Hatter mojo back. Any others feel the same? I also feel the same, Philip. After what I watched yesterday, Matt Bloomfield is starting to build something. Isaiah Jones is my underrated player at Luton. Thing is with me with Isaiah Jones, I want to see more. I'm waiting to see the real Isaiah Jones. I don't think we've seen it yet. I think we've seen glimpses of it, not the real thing. So yeah, I want to see what Isaiah Jones can do in this upcoming season. 33 likes, 80 viewers. Come on, guys, hit the like button. Yes, please, guys, hit the like button. It helps the video perform better. The live stream will perform better. The channel reaches out to a much wider audience. I'm not joking. I'm not lying when I say this. It really does help the channel. I love it that no one is moaning about the new kit. People were moaning, but it is a lot better in person. I mentioned it right at the start of the video, but the kit is so much better. It's blood orange. It's not red. It's pretty much blood orange. It's very nice. Yeah, I really like it in person. Adebayo's assist to Jordan Clark in the playoff final. What is an assist that was? It was indeed a very good assist. Philip, that was a season to forget. Oh yeah, definitely. Last season was a season to forget. So I don't know what happened last year. Tell me what happened. Did we get relegated? Can't remember. Love Isaiah Jones gets in their head, and his pace and dribbling is amazing. I wish he just uses his pace a little bit more. There's times where I don't think he properly uses it. But what was I gonna say? Oh, something came into my head a second ago, which I wanted to say. Luca. Oh, that's it. Philip. No, not Philip. Oh, what was the player? Oh, it's gone out of my head. I was going to say something. Something fell in my head, and it's left. Maybe it's time to stop live streaming. Wonder how Morris would do at Derby. He signed a 3-year deal, but Derby are now signing another striker. They're signing Patrick. I think it's Ajiman. We were linked with. Yeah, I made a video on this actually. It's an MLS player from Charlotte FC. Is it? Let me get the player. Yeah, Patrick Ajiman. They're spending about £7 million on him. He's going to play in front of Morris. Derby are not going to spend £7 million on a striker for them not to actually play him. We had a £4 million bid actually rejected for him. So yeah, they're paying £7 million for him. Right, guys, couple more questions and then I will end the live stream. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in this hour. It has been a fantastic hour. I just cannot believe how well my video has done yesterday. It's got 7,000 views in less than 24 hours. My videos don't do that well in 24 hours. In fact, after we got relegated against West Brom, that video never done 7,000 views in under 24 hours. So it just shows you the power and how big Rangers are as a football club. When you mention them in a video title, it is insane. But yeah, wow. Just how well it's doing. It's incredible. And then since also doing this live stream, I've gained an extra 3 subscribers. So fantastic. Luton not to be promoted this season. Why do you feel that way, Jack? Mark, ex-Premiership player, Ajiman. No, it's not ex-Premiership. He's MLS. He's from America. Mick, you put enjoyable stream again. Thank you so much, Mick. Much appreciate all the nice comments and everyone who has spent some time out of their busy schedules, I'm sure, to watch me talk a load of rubbish for the last hour or so. But yeah, honestly, lots of things coming soon in terms of content. When the season starts, hopefully we can actually, hopefully I can hit 5,000 subscribers before the season starts. That'd be absolutely insane. And then when the season starts, try and hit 6,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That would be fantastic if I can do that. Lots of content coming, match reactions, match previews, 5 things which we learned from the games, breakdown live streams, of course, where we just reflect on the game itself and also what's happened during the week, predictions, score predictions. I'm going to be doing League One score predictions. There also would be like a League One video each week, just highlighting certain things about what's happened in League One as we are playing in it. And then just reacting to big news across the season, sackings, just all sorts of different things, guys. It's going to be a really, really busy, hectic season. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. Hopefully a good year for the channel. I'm also uploading on TikTok as well. Trying to do 3 TikToks a day. I keep saying this every single live stream, but I am trying my best to upload as much as possible on that platform. So if you haven't already, the links are in the description below. Go and follow me over there. My TikTok, which I did on Asgard leaving Luton, has got 50,000 views. TikTok views are like mental. If you get TikTok views in YouTube views, this channel would just like skyrocket. Let me have a quick look at how many views it's on now. It's on 70,000 views, my latest TikTok. It's crazy just what TikTok actually does. I just wish it translates over to YouTube, because that is what needs to happen. If you get 70,000 on a YouTube video, I'm laughing, boys and girls. I'm going to the beach. I'm going on a nice European away trip. That's what 70,000 views can do to a YouTube video. It's a nice financial package, that's for sure. But anyway, much appreciated for everyone who stayed tuned and watched me. Just quickly, answer the last remaining questions. We should have given Carlos Mendes, Gomez, and Joe Taylor and Dion Pereira more chances. I think Dion Pereira just wasn't quite at the level. He's now playing League 2 for Crawley. Joe Taylor, I do agree we should have given him a chance. And I think Mendes Gomez should have also had more chances, but Nathan Jones couldn't quite fit him into the system. Philip, you put Hatters still have a big squad. It's a mess trying to reset when probably a few want out. I agree. Great hour, Lewis, from Tim. Thank you so much, mate. When Power Court opens, your channel will treble, Lewis. I don't know how the impact of Power Court actually would do. I'm going to be sitting behind the goal for Power Court. That's where my season ticket's going to be. I've never looked forward to a football season after 40 odd years as a Hatter, but this year I feel flat and uninspired. The club seems to be going backwards. I don't want to end the live stream on that comment. I don't think we are going backwards. I think the club have learnt a lot of mistakes from last 12 months. Yes, I understand the negativity. There are certain elements things that do need to get improved, but we are improving in certain departments, that's for sure. I do see us I do see us having a good year. I think Bloomfield will instill a really good, positive culture, which will hopefully translate into winning a lot of games. But that's how I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Busy week next week in content. We'll be giving you another match reaction from the pre-season friendly from the team which we play in Slovenia. That is available on a live stream from the club website, so I will be watching that. And Gillingham, Southend, I'm going to both of those games in pre-season. I'm going to Tottenham as well, and then that's when the season starts. So 4 more pre-season games still remaining for Luton. 4 more, match reactions. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.